Just put him back on the duty roster. He's on assignment now, and he'll show up sometime in the morning. For crying out loud, what the hell is this? No, not you, Anderson. I'll talk to you tomorrow. What are you doing? And why are you doing it here?
Darling, I came here to say hello. What's so wrong with that?
What's the matter with having yourself announced?
Because, Chiefy, your secretary left for the evening, which is exactly what you should do. And if you're lucky, I will give you the privilege of taking me out for a drink.
Do I have the privilege of saying no thank you?
No, you do not, especially since you walked out on me last night.
No, I did not walk out on you last night. I was called away.
Oh, yeah? Well, you have no idea how much trouble you got me into. Did you hear what happened?
Well, I know you didn't get home until very late in the morning.
Oh, yeah? Well, look, why don't you just put on your coat and we'll go someplace real cool.
Raven, I said no. I know more than I want to know. I know that you didn't get an invitation to that party. I know that you just used me to get there.
I did not, Derek. I wanted to be with you.
Oh, the hell you did. You wanted Skylar Whitney to see us together. You wanted him to think you had another man on the string, to see that you were getting back into the swing of things.
That's not true.
I don't know why you're bothering to try to make him jealous. I don't see what good it's going to do you.
Derek, I swear to you, I am not interested in that miserable, horrible man in the least. You know what he did to me. You know how rude he was to me.
I know you a lot better than I know him, and I know your mind works in a very circuitous fashion, and you have somehow gotten it into your head that flaunting another man is going to punish him, and that is the only reason why you're here today, to try to make sure that I remain a player in your little game.
All right, I'll tell you the truth.
The truth? You scare me when you talk like that. That's when I don't trust you at all, when you start getting sincere.
Derek, look, all right, I'll admit, I didn't just come here to see you, although I really did want to see you, but...
But?
Well, I came here to ask you a question. Tell me, do you know what this is?
Yes. This is a key.
I know, but I mean, what's it used for?
How should I know? I'm a cop. I'm not a locksmith.
I know that cops deal with keys and locks and stuff like that, so...
It's obviously not a house key. It's a machine key. It probably opens up some kind of container.
Oh, look, it's got a little number right there.
5012.
That's right. You think maybe it opens a safe?
I doubt it opens a safe. Maybe a safety deposit box.
That's what I thought. You think maybe this number is the number on the box?
I don't think the bank is going to put the number of the box right on the key. It's an identifying number.
All right, but this is a bank key, right?
Where'd you get that key from?
And people put very important things in safety deposit boxes, right? Like the most personal possessions.
Raven, I asked you where you got that key from. Did that come from the Whitney house the other night?
Well, not really.
Raven, I'm a cop. Now, did you rob that key?
No, the only robber in that house is Skylar Whitney.
Oh, I'm sick of hearing you say that. Now, listen. Are you hiding something that once was in the possession of your imposter husband?
No. I did not steal this key. It was given to me. Well, it's about time. I mean, I know you're slow, but I've been waiting out there forever.
Well, I was in another part of the house.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you were upstairs looking through all my dresses.
Well, it's a very big house, you know.
You don't have to tell me about this house, Nora. I came to see Mr. Whitney.
Is he expecting you?
Mr. Whitney's always expecting me.
Well, he certainly is expecting you this morning. He's not here.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm sure you won't mind if I look around the house.
Please, I already told you he's not here. You have no right to go searching through this house.
Yeah? Look, I think I'll just wait down here. Why don't you just go about your business? I'll be all right.
Well, if you'll excuse me for a moment.
Oh, I don't know who you are, but you certainly do look horrible.
Morning. Is there something in particular you're looking for?
Well, I was just passing the time. Actually, I am here to see Mr. Whitney.
I believe Nora told you already that he isn't here.
Yes, she did say that, didn't she?
I'll have to ask you to leave, Raven.
Oh, Spencer, come on. I'm not here to cause trouble. I'm here to discuss a very important thing with Mr. Whitney.
Well, if you're here to discuss business, you can talk with me, Nora. Would you mind?
Oh, of course.
Now, Raven.
Miss Alexander.
As you wish. What was important you wanted to talk about?
Well, I have something that you might be very interested in, and it concerns a safety deposit key.
Find this key.
I found it inside the pocket of the coat you gave me the other day.
I see. Well, why don't you just leave it with me, and I'll tell Mr. Whitney you returned it.
No, Spencer. You gave me that coat. And that includes everything that was in the pockets, which just happened to be 62 cents, and the key.
I imagine that Mr. Whitney would overlook the 62 cents.
And the key also happened to have a number on it, 5012.
Miss Alexander, if what you're saying is true and what is in the box belongs to Mr. Whitney, you wouldn't want to try his patience again, would you? Like I said, why don't you just give the key to me and we'll forget the whole thing?
Not in a million years. You know, Spencer, I'm kind of hungry. I didn't have breakfast, so maybe you could go get me a little coffee with a little something to eat.
I'll tell the cook.
All right, Nora, you don't need to hang around like a Secret Service agent. I'm not going to walk off with the furniture.
Nothing like that occurred to me.
So tell me, how do you like your new job?
It's all right.
Yeah. Well, don't start feeling too triumphant just because I'm out of the house and you're in now, because I just might be back soon.
That wouldn't surprise me, nor would it make me unhappy. You know, I've always thought very highly of you. In fact, if I may say so, we're very much the same sort of person.
The comparison escapes me.
Mr. Whitney was very grateful to Spencer for helping him get his things back. If someone were to help you, would you be as grateful?
Thank you, Nora.
Mr. Whitney?
Any calls this morning, Spencer?
No calls of importance, but we did have an interesting visitor, a lady.
Oh?
Who also had an interesting piece of information.
All right, Spencer, I'm intrigued. Who and what?
Raven, she has a safety deposit box key. The key is numbered.
That simply means that there's more than one deposit box. What's so remarkable?
The number on her key is consecutive with the one that I found, which leads me to one conclusion. You need both keys to open one box. I don't know why I didn't think of it sooner, Sky. There's an institution here in town that has a two-key sort of arrangement for select clientele.
Then we simply have to get the other key away from Raven.
That's not going to be easy. And I know you can't use vinegar.
Are you suggesting honey? Hello, Raven. This is Sky.
Hello?
Well, Spencer just told me you stopped by this morning. I'm so sorry to have missed you.
Yeah, that's too bad.
And now, look, I have to be honest. I realize I haven't been very friendly of late, but I'd like a chance to make that up to you. Now, what do you say to lunch? Tomorrow?
Well, I think I'm going to have to check my appointment book and see if I'm free.
Your table, Mr. Whitney?
Thank you. Will this be all right?
Oh, yes. Oh, I haven't been here since right after I was married.
I hope it pleases you.
Yes, it reminds me.
Of what?
Nothing.
I must say you're looking very lovely today, Raven.
Thank you.
When I see you looking like this, that portrait of you just doesn't do you justice. What have you done with it, by the way?
It's in storage.
Ah. I can't say I'm very fond of the painting of my father I've put in its place.
That is your father? I saw it today. It's nice.
Oh, no, I'll have to find something else. But it will take some doing to find a substitute as beautiful and compelling as your portrait. This is turning into a sheer delight, Raven.
Well, are you that surprised?
No, not at all. It's just that I wasn't really expecting it.
Oh, I knew it was going to happen. I knew you'd fall in love with me as soon as you met me. You just hated me because you hated Jeff Brown and you thought you should hate me, too.
Well, I'm sure you realize the pressure I was under, Raven. All those months spent lying flat on my back thinking of the injustice done me. One doesn't get over those things overnight.
Well, it depends on the night.
This night might go far in making me see things differently. But I can't really expect you to change your feelings toward me.
What do you mean?
I know how you felt about what I did, or what I was forced to do, rather. strip you of those things you thought of as yours.
Yes, I was rather upset about that.
I can't make you understand, can I? The sense of violation I felt, the outrage. It's like having your house robbed. You feel dirty, sullied. That's the way your husband made me feel.
Can we change the subject?
I need to feel clean again, Raven. I need to feel clean so that you and I can start clean.
What do you mean?
I mean that there are still little things bothering me, loose ends. And I know that when those loose ends are tied up, I'll be able to see the world differently. I'll be able to see you in a different light.
That's exactly what I want.
Excuse me. There's a telephone call for you, Miss Alexander.
Me?
Yes. If you'd like to follow me, please.
Excuse me.
Of course.
Oh, thank you. Hello?
It's Nora.
What are you calling me here for?
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have something very important to tell you. The reason Mr. Whitney invited you to lunch is because he wants that key.
He what?
You do have a key to some sort of safety deposit box, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Take my word for it, please. He has to have that key. He needs 2 keys to open the box. His and the one you own.
So that's what this is all about.
I told you. I have your best interests at heart.
I'll talk to you later.
Well, that was just Geraldine. A little crisis at home.
Oh?
Oh, nothing important. We took care of it. So, where were we?
I was about to say that I think the way to resolve our differences is for me to be certain that you share some of my sentiments toward your late husband. Not that you should hate him or his memory. You were his wife, after all. But I just need to know that you understand why I feel so resentful toward him.
Oh, I do.
I knew you would, since he was so obviously in the wrong. Since he was a thief, a grave robber, a fraud.
Don't you think I know that? I'm not stupid, so my husband was a criminal. But he was very charming, very lovable. And even though I'm sort of in conflict over it because I didn't really like what he did, I found him very attractive.
I'll grant you his charm if you grant me my complete right to have everything that's mine returned to me. Then you and I can build a new friendship.
But I already gave you everything. I mean, didn't I sign a piece of paper to that effect?
Yes, but there is one small final detail. It concerns a key.
What key?
One that I left inadvertently in the old coat you wore home the other night. I'd worn the coat myself just a few days before, and I left a key in there, in one of the pockets.
Oh, isn't that funny? Because I looked through all the pockets, and I didn't see any key.
Now, let's see. WMON budget, August of 1982, as compared to this time last year. Oh, for heaven's sake, how do they expect me to finish out the year with a budget like this? Now, where have I heard that recently? Oh, yes, from Raven. How does Schuyler expect her to exist now that he's taken away everything she owns? And I think of what Raven had at this time last year. Schuyler and Raven. Wonder what they're saying to each other right now across the table. Are they holding hands or are they throwing plates at each other? And who would pay for the damage? Raven can't afford it, and Schuyler's too stubborn to dig into his pocket for a nickel where Raven's concerned. Oh, dear, that would leave me to pay for all that broken china. Oh, well, I can charge it to entertainment, I suppose. Still, you shouldn't be so negative, Geraldine. They're probably enjoying each other's company and having a delightful time after all. Raven, I certainly didn't expect you back so soon.
Well, I didn't expect to be back so soon.
I have the vague suspicion the afternoon was not a success.
Whatever gave you that idea? The rat!
All right, give me the gory detail.
You won't believe it.
I will if you'll calm down and tell me.
It's absolutely incredible how devious that man is. Everyone said that my husband was devious. Well, he was a rank amateur compared to the real Schuyler Whitney.
So, Schuyler had an ulterior motive for asking you to lunch.
He certainly did. The whole time when he asked me out, I thought it was because he was trying to make amends for the rotten way he treated me by throwing me out with nothing.
So, what did Schuyler want?
He wanted something from me. This key. The key that was in the pocket of that coat that they wrapped around me when they threw me out of the house.
But why is it significant?
Well, I guess it opens some safety deposit box that you need 2 keys to open. Skylar has one, and I have the other.
But what's in the safe deposit box?
I don't know, and neither does Skylar. He just hates the fact that my husband probably hid away a few dollars, and he can't wait to get his hands on it, as if he doesn't have all the money in the world already.
Raven, you're going to hate this, I know. But technically, rightfully, and ethically, that key belongs to Skylar.
It certainly does not. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and I possess it. So let's see him just try to get it away. I don't care if he wonders what's in that box for the rest of his life.
Spencer?
Hello, Sky. You back already?
Yes.
How was your lunch with Raven?
As a luncheon partner, I would have preferred Lucretia Borgia, a poison ring and all. I need a drink.
I can see that. What happened?
If you mean the key, I didn't get it.
Why not?
Would you believe this? When I mentioned it, her eyes got as big as saucers, those long lashes fluttered like awnings in the wind, and she said breathlessly, "What key?" What key? As if she didn't know I could have cheerfully strangled her.
So she refused to give it up.
She refused to acknowledge its existence.
But she admitted to me that she had it.
Ah, she says you're mistaken.
Damn!
You know, she could give a course in how to be devious in 10 easy lessons. I should have realized she and I could never be anything but adversaries. It's my own fault everything went badly.
Why do you say that?
Well, things were going so well. It was great atmosphere, champagne. I was never more charming, and she, I hate to admit it, never looked more beautiful. There was some inconsequential small talk. How nice you look, how nice to be here. And then I said, you know, this would all be complete except for one little thing. I'm missing a certain key. And then the curtain came down with a bang.
Well, that's not exactly your fault, Skylar. What else could you have done?
I could have waited until she was more mellow. Perhaps another bottle of champagne would have done it.
Oh, it's so frustrating, especially since now I'm convinced that those 2 keys will open a deposit box at that institution I was saying about. Only with one key, without the other, it's useless.
Well, at least that's something. We know she can't open the box either.
Well, that's hardly much comfort, Skylar. If she's going to continue to hang tough, we will never discover the contents of the box.
Contents? What could be in that? Gems, cash, bonds? Whatever it is, our dear departed Mr. Brown obviously thought it important enough to keep it under lock and 2 keys. I've got to find out what's in it.
But how if Raven continues to be so stubborn?
I don't know. We got to think of something. Maybe we can sue her. The threats won't work. I promised her I wouldn't prosecute. Not that I wouldn't gladly break that promise, but I put it in writing.
Well, I guess there's not much point in mulling it over now, at least not for the moment. But I have a hunch we're going to come up with something that'll give us some leverage with that lady.
The only thing I can think of right now is a wooden stake through the heart.
That might work if we could find out where she keeps the coffin she sleeps in. Well, Sky, let's try not to worry about it for now. We've been in much more difficult situations before.
Hopefully we'll come up with something. I want that damn key as much as I want the Monticello News. And right now, I can't have either of them.
Here, dear, drink this, whether you like it or not. It's hot tea.
Do I have to?
Yes, because I say so. Now, I see no reason at all why you should be so disturbed about all this. It's true, Skylar was not completely honest with you about this luncheon engagement. But if I may say so, it was no more devious than many of the things I have seen you do all of your life.
How can you possibly say that to me?
Because it's perfectly true. Skylar is trying to manipulate you because he wants something that you have. The only thing is, he's using honey tactics instead of vinegar.
You want to know something? You're absolutely right. And the only way to fight honey tactics is with honey.
I'm going for a walk around the grounds.
I'll get that. Whitney residence? One moment, I'll see. It's Raven. Would you like to speak with her?
By all means. Hello.
Hello, darling. I just couldn't wait another minute without telling you how delightful lunch was.
Well, it's very kind of you, but I was under the impression you weren't very happy when we parted.
Oh, quite the contrary. I had a really nice time. And about that key that you were talking about?
The what key?
Oh, the one that meant so much to you. I just thought that maybe if you wanted to discuss it further, we could have dinner.
Hello. Hi, Miss Alexander. It's Nora Fulton.
Hi.
How are you tonight?
Fine.
Listen, I have the night off. I wonder if you could spare a little time.
I'm just about ready to go take a bath, Nora.
Oh, you'll be out of the tub by the time I get there. Won't take long. I just want to talk to you about our mutual situation.
Look, tonight is not really the night, okay?
Listen, it's the only night that I have. I hate to sound like a bill collector, but you owe me something for that little favor I did you.
All right. So I was glad you called the restaurant and told me what your stupid boss was up to. You can come over.
I'm on my way. On my way.
I'm really sorry you're so disappointed. I guess that newspaper meant a lot to you, huh?
Yes, it did. I'm just bored, Gunther. Now that there's a full accounting of the estate, there's nothing left to do but spend the money.
Doesn't sound so boring to me.
You'll find that when you can afford to buy anything in the world, there's very little you want to buy. Power is the best thing you can get for your money.
You figured the newspaper would
It
be...
influences people. It allows you to make or break them. Or it can if you handle it right.
Well, I don't know. I think most people just read the comics, advice to the lovelorn, stuff like that. Look, if you ask me, I think a TV station is even better.
Now, there's an idea. But I'd probably have even less chance of buying one of those. So, you're finally back.
Yes. Would you excuse us, Gunther? I have some business to discuss with Mr. Whitney.
Oh, yes, sir, Mr. Varney. Right away, Mr. Varney.
What have you been up to?
Been learning a new trade. Hotel thief.
What are you talking about?
One thing I did learn, I'm not very good at it. This crime definitely did not pay.
I think you're serious.
Didn't even have any trouble with the locks. An old friend once taught me how to pick those little devices.
Are you telling me you burglarized my aunt's hotel suite?
Yes. But don't worry, I didn't take a thing because there was nothing there worth taking.
Including the second key?
Exactly, which means we still don't know exactly what is in that safety deposit box of Jefferson Brown's.
I just couldn't help it. I couldn't stand by and watch Mr. Whitney fool you like that. I mean, maybe it was wrong for me to warn you. I mean, after all, he does pay my salary, but I told you the feeling I have for you. The only way to describe the feeling is loyalty.
Well, thank God I didn't give him that key. I can just imagine how smug he'd be.
It must mean a lot to him to go as far as he did. I mean, pretending to want to see you socially.
Well, I'm sure it wasn't that much of a sacrifice, Nora.
Oh, no, I didn't mean it like that. No, in fact, I'm sure that he's very, very attracted to you.
Think so?
He likes you. He likes you very much. He just needs time to forget the past.
What do you want? Come on, why are you doing this? Could cost you your job.
Yeah, I know that. But it's not nearly as nice as the job you gave me. Confidential, secretary. I mean, look at Spencer. One minute he's a butler. Next minute they make him a business manager.
Well, that was his reward for loyalty.
Well, I'd like to reward him. I'd like to see him kicked right out of that house. I shouldn't be talking this way.
No, I'd like to see him kicked out of the house, too, but it'll never happen.
You know,
Whitney's too grateful to him.
If you were back in that house again, if you were Mrs. Whitney again, you could get whatever you wanted.
Nora, are you offering to represent my interests in the Whitney house?
I couldn't have put that nicer myself. I'd love to do just that. Represent your interests.